Breaking news. The week started with an atmosphere of joy, mixed with concern. We have important updates and I'll tell you everything that's happening. But before we continue, hit the like button if you've been a Baltimore Ravens fan for over 20 years. It's great to see fans of all ages. There are people here who were at the first game. The Baltimore Ravens spent the weekend celebrating their win over the Cleveland Browns and winning the AFC North title, securing the third seed and a home playoff game. But there was also significant concern surrounding wide receiver Zay Flowers, who left the game in the second quarter with a knee injury. Fans were on tenterhooks as the team awaited the results of Flowers' MRI, leaving a mix of relief and concern in the air. Coach John Harbaugh said that Flowers' injury doesn't appear to be serious, but the lack of definitive MRI results has left the Ravens community anxious. NFL insider Ian Rappaport reported last night that the injury is considered a sprain, which is good news in terms of its long-term severity. However, there is a real possibility that Flowers could miss the first round of the playoffs. That uncertainty overshadows the high spirits after back-to-back AFC North titles and a solid season. Zay Flowers has been a cornerstone of the Ravens' offense this season, with 74 receptions for 1,059 yards, averaging an impressive 14.3 yards per catch. Despite only 4 touchdowns, his ability to gain yards after the catch makes him indispensable. The concern is heightened by the fact that Flowers has only missed 1 game in his career, a Week 18 match last season when starters rested. Without him, the offense faces uncharted territory, raising questions about how the team might adapt if he isn't ready for the upcoming playoff game. Rashad Bateman has emerged as a reliable option, stepping up significantly when Flowers was sidelined against the Browns. Bateman's consistent performances toward the season's end provide some reassurance, but the depth at wide receiver remains a concern. Other players like Tylan Wallace and Nelson Agholor might need to fill crucial roles, testing the team's overall offensive flexibility. Amidst all this, speculation around a potential return of Odell Beckham Jr. has stirred conversation. While OBJ isn't currently on the roster, his history with the Ravens and familiarity with quarterback Lamar Jackson and offensive coordinator Todd Monken make him an intriguing option. The team has only a short window to decide, as roster moves are frozen after December 8th. Beckham's last stint with Miami showed flashes of potential, but his availability and impact remain questionable. The Ravens' playoff journey begins in just under a week, with their first-round opponent hinging on the outcome of a game between the Chargers and Raiders. Should the Raiders fail to stage a comeback, the Ravens will face the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. While the Steelers might seem like a tough draw, they've lost 4 consecutive games, potentially positioning Baltimore for a strong start to their postseason campaign. The stakes are high, and Ravens fans are buzzing with questions. How will the team adjust without Flowers if he's unavailable? Can Bateman and others rise to the occasion? And should the team take a gamble on OBJ to bolster their wide receiver room? With playoffs around the corner, every decision counts, and the energy among the fans is electric.
What do you think, Ravens flock? Are you confident in the team's chances heading into the playoffs, or are there too many question marks surrounding key players? Let us know in the comments, and stay tuned as we cover every moment of this thrilling playoff run. As the Ravens prepare for the playoffs, the focus remains on how they can navigate a potential absence of Zay Flowers. The young wide receiver has been a revelation all season, and his impact on the field goes beyond statistics. His versatility, ability to stretch defenses, and knack for making big plays have become central to Baltimore's offensive identity. Without him, the pressure mounts on Lamar Jackson and the rest of the offense to adapt quickly in what could be a high-stakes wild-card matchup. If Flowers isn't ready to go, the responsibility likely falls on Rashad Bateman to step into the WR1 role. Bateman has shown flashes of brilliance and resilience throughout the season, and his ability to perform under pressure will be critical. The question remains whether Tylan Wallace or Nelson Agholor can adequately support Bateman, especially in key third-down situations or in the red zone. Both have had moments, but consistency will be paramount if Flowers is unavailable. Meanwhile, the idea of adding a veteran presence like Odell Beckham Jr. adds another layer of intrigue. Beckham, despite his limited production in Miami this season, brings playoff experience and a proven ability to perform on the biggest stages. If the Ravens decide to pursue OBJ, it would undoubtedly signal an all-in approach for this postseason. His chemistry with Lamar Jackson and familiarity with Monken's system could make for a quick integration. But as with any midseason addition, the risks, both financial and strategic, cannot be ignored. Defensively, the Ravens will need to continue their dominant play, especially if the offense needs time to adjust without Flowers. The defense has been one of the team's strongest assets this season, with their ability to generate pressure, create turnovers, and shut down opposing offenses. Against either the Steelers or Chargers, the Ravens' defense will likely be the key to controlling the game and setting the tone early. The Steelers, should they secure the matchup, present an intriguing challenge. Historically, they've been a thorn in Baltimore's side, but this season's story is different. The Ravens dominated them in their last meeting, and the Steelers' recent struggles could provide Baltimore with the momentum they need. However, playoff games between these rivals are rarely straightforward, and underestimating Pittsburgh would be a mistake. On the other hand, if the Chargers somehow emerge as Baltimore's opponent, the dynamics shift significantly. With a high-powered offense led by Justin Herbert, the Chargers can exploit weaknesses in any defense. The Ravens secondary, which has shown vulnerability at times, would need to be at its best to contain Herbert's deep ball threats. For Ravens fans, the mix of excitement and anxiety is palpable. This team has shown they can compete with the best, but lingering uncertainties, such as Flowers' injury and the potential need for depth at wide receiver, add to the tension. Still, the foundation of this team, built on resilience and adaptability, gives fans hope. Every Ravens supporter knows the playoffs are about seizing the moment. The decisions made over the next few days, from Flowers' potential availability to how the roster is adjusted, will shape the team's destiny. The energy in Baltimore is electric, and the anticipation is building. So, Ravens flock, it's your turn to weigh in. What are your thoughts on Zay Flowers' injury situation? Should the Ravens take a shot at OBJ, or stick with their current roster? And how do you feel about facing either the Steelers or Chargers in the first round? Drop your comments below, and as always, keep it locked here for all your playoff coverage. It's going to be an unforgettable ride. The Ravens' road to the playoffs isn't just about strategy. It's about heart, resilience, and a fan base that lives and breathes football. Let's not forget the stakes here. This team has positioned itself for something truly special. Winning the AFC North is an achievement worth celebrating, but it's only the first step. This squad, led by Lamar Jackson, has the potential to go all the way, and every fan knows it. Speaking of Lamar, his leadership will be more critical than ever. Jackson has not only been the centerpiece of this offense, but also the emotional anchor for the team. With Flowers' status uncertain, Lamar's ability to adapt and elevate his teammates will be put to the test. We've seen him make magic out of seemingly impossible situations before, and if anyone can handle the pressure, it's him. His connection with Bateman, Mark Andrews, and even the backfield could define how far this team goes. One area where the Ravens have a clear advantage heading into the playoffs is their ground game. The combination of J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards has been nothing short of dynamic this season. Against a physical Steelers defense or a fast but occasionally inconsistent Chargers front, establishing the run will be crucial. Controlling the tempo and keeping opposing offenses off the field are recipes for success, and this Ravens team is built to execute that game plan. Defensively, this team has been a revelation. The pass rush, led by players like Roquan Smith and Odafoa, has been relentless. Baltimore's ability to generate turnovers and create pressure on opposing quarterbacks could be the X factor in any playoff game. Against a rookie quarterback like Kenny Pickett, Steelers, or a seasoned talent like Justin Herbert, Chargers, the Ravens defense has the tools to disrupt game plans and swing momentum in their favor. Now, it's time for the fan base to make their voices heard. What are your hopes for this playoff journey? Do you believe this team has what it takes to go all the way? And if Flowers can't go, who do you trust to step up and carry the load? Let us know in the comments, and stay tuned, because this is just the beginning. The Ravens story is far from over, and we'll be here to cover every moment as it unfolds. Let's go Ravens!